St. Clair handles all kinds of nonprofit clients. In my book of business, I handle clients from the smallest little startups that are first getting their first grants and have a mission and purpose that they're excited about, to multiple large organizations with locations all across the country. We handle clients in our immediate regional area. We handle clients all over the nation. Most of our clients are in the social services type of activity, but we also handle clients in the performing arts. We handle clients in healthcare. We handle clients in education. We do a lot of work with charter schools. We do a lot of work with literacy and religious organizations, churches and synagogues. We also work with local community organizations, small and large. The team at St. Clair has many years of experience working with all kinds of nonprofit clients. I've worked with nonprofit clients in the accounting world for over 20 years. We have experience working with clients for their audits, for their tax form 990s, for multiple advisory services. Our passion for nonprofit organizations extends beyond just our accounting work. Many of our partners and principals serve on the boards of nonprofit organizations. I serve as treasurer on the board of a national dance company that's based out of Philadelphia. And that gives us experience to understand both sides of where our organizations have needs. We come in as the outside advisors, but we also have the perspective of understanding what's important to our clients and what needs they have, and unique accounting issues come up within the organization and the board of directors. At St. Clair, we offer all of our accountants technical training in all of the unique areas of accounting for nonprofits. And we make sure that we're up to date on all the newest industry trends so that we can work with our clients and give them the best advice possible. So the first thing to understand is the difference between what a nonprofit organization is and what a tax-exempt organization is. A nonprofit is just the type of entity. Usually you're incorporated as a corporation, a nonprofit corporation, under a state law. The tax-exempt status comes from applying to the IRS, and they have codes. Normally we think of it as a 501, and a 501c3 is the code that most people are familiar with. And you get approved by the IRS as a tax-exempt organization based on your mission. And that gives you, as an organization, the status of not having to pay taxes on your income for the most part. So that's one of the main differences in tax filings for a nonprofit tax-exempt entity versus a regular for-profit corporation. So the tax form that most people file for a nonprofit is Form 990. That's really more of an informational return. It gives information about your mission, your purpose, your programs, and your finances. It becomes a public document so that it is out there for the public to see. It is the picture you give to readers of what you are. It's also very important because if it is not filed on a timely basis, you can have your exempt status revoked by the IRS. If your exempt status is revoked by the IRS, what happens is people who are giving you a donation are no longer able to take that donation as a personal tax deduction. So it's very important to be up to date on your filings. In addition, often states have what they call charitable registration filings, and those give you the ability to solicit donations in those states. So it's like a triple step. First, you get incorporated as a corporation, then you get your federal IRS tax-exempt status, and then in the states where you operate and want to solicit donations, then you receive your state charitable license. And all of these filings are required annually, and they have due dates. So it's very important to understand what your due dates are, and to have a professional like St. Clair that understands how and when to file all the appropriate filings for you. Tax-exempt organizations are not exempt from all taxes, and that's also important to understand, and that's where accounting firms like ours come into play, and where someone has has 20 years experience working in the nonprofit world can help you. There are sometimes taxes that you have to pay for sales and use tax if you are doing certain programs or activities that are not necessarily under your mission purpose. There's also unrelated business income tax, which can occur if you are also doing certain programs that are not related to your mission purpose. So while some things fall under your mission purpose, such as if you have a gift shop in your museum that is selling items related to the museum, is one thing. But if you are renting out parts of your building to an unrelated organization because you have empty space, you will have to pay tax on that income. Annual financial audits performed by independent certified public accountants are needed for many purposes by a nonprofit organization. Normally, they are not required by the IRS. They are not required to be filed along with your Form 990, but oftentimes they are required based on levels of contributed revenue to your state registration. So that is one purpose that an annual audit would be needed. Other purposes that many nonprofits need an annual audit performed by an independent certified public accountant would be to accompany a grant application. Most grant applications, specifically for governmental funding or private foundation funding, require you to submit an audit along with your grant application. That's normally to assure them of your transparency and that your financial numbers are accurate and can be relied upon. In addition, there's other audit requirements, different types of audit requirements required by the OMB under their uniform guidance. That's what used to be called a single audit. So if your organization, and a lot of social service types of organizations, receive federal funding or funding from their state or city through types of governmental grants that are passed through federal agencies, and if you receive over a specific threshold of funding in a year and expend that funding for your programs, you are required to have what is called an audit under uniform guidance or a single audit. And that's a little bit more involved. And that is where St. Clair can come in and really assist you. We have lots of experience, and I've been performing these audits for a long time. Sometimes an audit isn't necessary. There's other levels of financial reporting that organizations, grant applications will accept, or the state registrations will accept based on your level of revenue. There's a reviewed financial statement and there's a compilation. A reviewed financial statement gives a lower level of assurance than an audit, but still gives some assurance with an accountant's report attached to it. It generally costs less than a full audit. So if you're a small organization and you do not need a full audit, a review normally will be sufficient. If you're extremely small, just starting out, and just need someone to pull together a financial statement for you, we can do a compilation. And a compilation really gives no assurance, but it does come with an accountant's report on our letterhead, and it does give the reader some assurance that they can rely on the fact that the financial statements that are pulled together were done in accordance with nonprofit accounting rules. There is no right or wrong time to bring in an accounting specialist and someone to work with you as a trusted advisor. You can bring us in from the beginning when you set up your organization. You can bring us in the middle, and you can bring us in at any point in time, because we can be there to help you with your needs at that time. What we do at St. Clair is we work with you to assist you in getting the best possible reporting together so that management can report to the board of directors and have everyone understand the finances of the organization. Particularly this year, with all the new CARES Act funding that has come through, it is very important to have an accountant, a public accounting firm that can understand and help you navigate all the new sources of funding that have come out with the funding, loans, and grants that are available to nonprofit organizations. In addition, all of these sources of funding come with their own unique requirements for reporting and compliance, and it's very important that you have the correct advisors so that you understand what you need to do so that you retain your compliance and don't enter into a situation where you can lose your funding. St. Clair can offer a nonprofit organization much more than just the basic accounting, audit, and tax compliance work, such as preparing the Form 990. We can work with you to help you in your budgetary process, where we can help you learn how to prepare a budget, how to analyze what your revenues and expenditures should be, and what types of things should go into that budget, so that when you set up your reporting, that everything comes out in an organized way. It's important to understand very often for compliance reporting how specific programs or specific funding sources are utilizing their funding and what expenses are being charged against that. One of the other things that we can really assist you with is utilization of one of our QuickBooks Pro advisors who are also CPAs. In addition, St. Clair has experience working with nonprofits to advise you on setting up good internal control policies and procedures, which will help you set up your organization to work efficiently and to mitigate risks.